This is going to be a second look at a film study for Marcus Williams. Of course, I did one when he first signed with the Ravens 3 months ago. The one that I completed a couple of days ago and put on YouTube was generally only filmed from 2019. I think maybe there was one play from 2020. This is designed to show not really a progression of play or an improvement, but consistency. Consistency of play from Marcus Williams from 2019 to 2021. How he has played as a middle of the field safety and in some cases as a half field safety. And just so you know, I don't just randomly take plays from his career. I also don't just find plays that he made, interceptions and whatnot. Now, I will highlight his interceptions in here and break them down, but so I don't cherry pick plays. So, and let me explain that. From 2020 to 2021, for this video I'm showing you right now, I had originally picked like 72 plays and watched them, where he was either involved or it was a big play given up by the Saints defense, or he got beat, which there will be one of those on here, or where the quarterback didn't even target him. To be honest with you, I get that. I got that down to about 20 or 22 plays, and from there I try to trim it to a group of plays that I think represents the quality and style of play he demonstrates. So again, I'm not cherry picking plays just to make him look good. That's kind of impossible to do for real. I am packaging plays together that represent the level of play I think he can demonstrate when used properly. If we were to go out there with Marcus Williams next year and have him cover slot receivers or blitz off the edge a lot, I don't think he'd play very well. That's not what he did well with New Orleans. That's not what he was asked to do. Having said that, in terms of what he does well, it's being a middle of the field free safety that takes away deep routes and big plays, limits big plays. And I think he's a tremendous improvement over what we have seen recently in a Ravens uniform. And I'm a big fan of the first two guys on the list here, okay? So specifically, I'm talking about three guys: Deshaun Elliott, Chuck Clark, and Earl Thomas. And I have to mention Thomas because he's the last free safety that we signed via free safety where we were all excited about his level of play. Clearly, that situation did not work out well on either side. But getting back to Elliott and Clark, the more recent and pertinent examples, they just did not have the agility and range to help out and deny big plays like Marcus Williams does. Now, I have identified one thing that I would say is a relative weakness of his, and that showed up in the first film that I did, and I think it's going to show up here as well. I don't believe Wink's system was really DB friendly, to be honest with you, unless you were incredibly talented, and I think that's the inherent weakness in it, and we saw that until he adjusted in certain games last year to play some softer coverages and not put guys in bad situations. Anyway, Williams is a tremendous upgrade over Clark and Elliott, and I like both of those two guys. Williams is really smart, young. I think he's still 25 years old. He's been a part of some really good DB groups in New Orleans. He'll be part of another talented position group here. We've got a complementary group of corners between Marlon Humphrey, Marcus Peters, Fuller, and some of the young guys to go with our primary three safeties, Williams, Hamilton, and Clark. And then Brandon Stevens is kind of like a hybrid safety corner. But anyway, let's get into some of the film. My lead-ins are getting to be a little bit too long, to be honest with you. This first play is going to be against Tampa Bay in Week 1. All right? And it's going to be an interception by Marcus Williams. And there's the route combination that you're going to see. You're going to see just a little in route, delay in by number 1. And then Mike Evans is just going to run up the seam in between the top of the numbers and the hash. You got the inside linebacker carrying Evans a little bit. Ball's overthrown. And Williams is there to take advantage. They do play a lot of cover 2, Tampa Bay. New Orleans. They do play a lot of cover 2. And in some cases, they'll be man on one side with a corner. So he did play some half-field safety, don't get me wrong. Generally, I think his best skill, what he's best at, is playing middle of the field free safety. He's off-screen to the bottom right here. You see Brady with a little play action. There is some pressure, so he's got to get rid of the ball. He's got to throw it over the top of this linebacker. Poor throw. Look, New Orleans had Brady's number in a lot of ways during the regular season, at least, okay? And Marcus Williams was a part of that. He's intercepted Brady twice in 4 games against him, and I think he's got 5 picks in the last 6 or 7 games against the Bucs. Week 1, again, this is going to be something that doesn't paint Marcus Williams in a great light. They're going to go bullet weak with this corner up here to the top side. And what bullet weak means, at least in the system I'm aware of, is a corner blitz off the edge. That corner's going to blitz, and that's going to leave Marcus Williams man-to-man on Mike Evans, and it's just a mismatch, and Brady recognizes it, throws the ball up, gets a pass interference call. Let's look at what I think he does wrong, and certainly I'm nowhere near the level of Marcus Williams, but I think he goes too flat. I think if you're Marcus Williams and you're supposed to go against this guy, I think you would rather give up something in this range here than give up something deep. So I think he's gone too flat here, and now he's got to try to recover, and he just doesn't have the speed to keep up with Mike Evans when Mike Evans is already been given a head start in terms of running in the direction where the ball is going to be thrown. Doesn't look any better from the end zone angle. Again, Marcus Williams is off screen to the bottom right. Brady sees the corner blitz. You can see the interference there. Good call. Incompletion. At least he didn't give up the big play. But again, I think it's a bad angle. Later on in the season, I think week 9, you can see that they're up on the Bucs 31-0. Crazy what they were able to do in the regular season. I think you get Brady and Antonio Brown are not on the same page on this route. I'm not sure who is wrong here, but you got a corner, with Brown, and then Marcus Williams is very good at reading the quarterback's eyes and having some awareness of the routes that are being run. He's also good at taking interceptions from corners. This is the third time where I've seen it to where a corner would have a pick, but Marcus Williams, has the correct angle, and it's a high percentage play for him. Off screen to the bottom left. Once again, Brady's trying to get rid of the football. There's really no pressure. Kind of surprising that this ball is overthrown this much. I think him and Brown just weren't on the same page, but you can see the ball skills that Marcus Williams has. Ball skills don't go away. All right, Atlanta in week 9. I guess I have my weeks wrong on the last one. There's Williams down here, and this is the one issue that I have seen. I think I have seen. I won't call it a weakness. I'll call it a relative weakness. What that means is he's better at other things than playing as a half-field safety. Doesn't mean he's no good at it. It just means compared to those other skills, this is not exactly his strength. So we're going to pull this back so you can see it. You have all the elements of a cover 2. You have an inside-out linebacker. You have a corner who's going to play the flat. Now this is a short route, and then Williams and then this safety up here appear to be playing deep halves. He's worried about this receiver possibly trying to cross his face, and there not being any help in the middle of the field for him, which is why he's keeping the leverage he's keeping at the top of the numbers, because he doesn't want to give up that big play, which could potentially be a touchdown. He knows he can recover to this route, and in some cases, he's just a step, I don't want to say slow. He needs to be a step faster if he wants to make a play on the ball, but that is the weakness in a cover 2, right? And when I pull this back and rewind it, forgive me that the video is kind of staccato and stuttering. If this guy was to go deep, the Mike linebacker has got to help out with that on the inside. But and you'll see from the end zone angle, as the play develops, the Mike linebacker is looking for some kind of work, and he doesn't see any, so he just settles off. I think he's got to get more depth and be someone that actually could help one of the half-field safeties on a deep ball. You can see the linebacker, he's already looked to his left or right. Now he's looking to his right or left. Matt Ryan delivers a perfect ball. Boom. And you can see that Williams is about one step behind. I'm not willing to call him slow at all, because that could be misconstrued by people into me saying he is slow, and he's certainly not. In order to make a play on the ball, he would have had to be a step faster. Let me use that word trick there. All right, it's going to be trail man by New Orleans against the Atlanta later on in that game, late in the game. It's a 4th down. So trail man is something that the Bucs used a lot of against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl during that upset. It's an interesting coverage whereby the corner will intentionally get on the back hip of the receiver, okay, as he runs a vertical route. And then what that's allowing is these safeties to be able to try to play, anything like this. Anything that this guy does is going to be covered. If he runs an out to the sideline, then this corner is going to be able to cover underneath of that. All right? If he runs a dig like this, then this corner will be able to cover. It's intentionally letting him beat you. And sometimes that's misconstrued as the corner being beat. This is intentional. This is called trail man. Again, the Bucs used it a lot against the Chiefs to kind of confuse them. Now, having said that, this is Julio Jones, by the way. Julio Jones is going to give a little look to the outside. You see that? I need to pull it back a little bit. He's giving a little look to the outside with his helmet, and that's holding Marcus Williams just enough for him to bring it back to the middle of the field and Matt Ryan to deliver the football. It's a great throw. It's a great route by Julio Jones. If I was to say relatively what Marcus Williams' weakness is, I would say as a half-field safety, he doesn't look as fluid. That's the wrong word. He doesn't look like things are as natural to him as a half-field safety, and I don't know why that is. I'm not saying he's no good at it. I'm saying compared to being a middle-of-the-field safety, where he's generally almost always in position to help out, as a half-field safety for whatever reason, the coverages that the Saints were playing, he was not as impactful. Change my words. Figure out how to improve on them, please, in the comment section. 4th and 10 against Atlanta in that same game, I think. And this is something that Marcus Williams is great at. If you watch the first video, you know what the Saints are getting ready to do. Most teams are going to drop 7, 8, guys deep and let you throw the ball, and they're going to have all these hands and hats down here to defend it. Not the Saints. In these Hail Mary situations, they're going to bring 5, and they do that here. They bring the same exact stunt they brought against Dallas. If you watch the first video, you can see that there's pressure on, I think that's Matt Ryan. 5 guys blitzing, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I think there's one other guy off screen. Nope, I'm wrong. They blitz 6, and there's 5 guys down here. Any case, Marcus Williams is one of them. Guess what he does? High points the football, gets an interception. Same thing he did in the Dallas game. Same thing he did at halftime of another game that I showed you. So this is the 3rd Hail Mary situation interception that I believe we have seen Marcus Williams make. Maybe it's the 2nd and my memory is wrong there. Feel free to go back and watch the first video and correct me if you'd like. But in any case, great ball skills. I don't think that, you can't deny that. Can't deny that at all. 2021 film, week 1. This is the route combination that you're going to get. For a moment, we're going to ignore this number 1 receiver, okay? I'm going to bring it back here after I play this. That's Davante Adams right there, by the way. It's a 3rd down, 3rd and 16, something. Or 3rd and 6, sorry. Marcus Williams with an interception. Yeah, some people will say, well, that's just a punt, coach. Not really. You're not going to throw a pick on a ball like that. Because if you do throw a pick 40, 50 yards downfield, I mean, yes, in certain cases, can that be construed as a punt? Okay, fine. But not in this situation where there's only 2 DBs and 1 receiver down there. Because if they do get a pick, you're not tackling the guy, you know what I mean, until he gets a 15, 20, 25-yard return. So the way this works is they're running a vertical by 2. Number 3 is running an in cut. So what that's doing is that's pulling this safety here. Okay? What they're trying to do is they're trying to get either this guy going vertical or Adams loose by removing this safety from the play completely. When we get the end zone angle, you're going to see what Aaron Rodgers is looking at. Remember, Marcus Williams is off screen to the top left. Davante Adams is to the left. Look at Rodgers' helmet. Okay, even prior to where I paused it right here, he's looking to the left. He's trying to see what Marcus Williams is doing. So he thinks Marcus Williams is covering over top of Davante Adams. Well, he is. He's preventing the football from being thrown there. I have said before that he's able to make it look like he can defend 2 routes. Well, here he's making it look like he's defending Davante Adams, which he is. The moment Rodgers does this, Williams is gone. That's a great play. I don't know who makes that play, who else makes that play in the league in terms of their alignment, because if we pull this back, look at his alignment. He's lined up between the top of the numbers and the hash. Certainly makes it look like a 2 safety alignment. Right, those 2 safeties right there. As the play develops, you're getting this safety jumping this route. So this number 2 should be isolated. Nope. Marcus Williams has got range. So I tried to find a way to not use the word slow when I was talking about the half-field safety reactions. Certainly that right there is not slow at all. Anticipation is involved. Intelligence is involved. Certainly. When he's reading the quarterback, he's seeing the quarterback's helmet. That's certainly involved as well, but that's not a slow guy at all. It's a beautiful play. How many interceptions do you think he can come up with this season for the Ravens if we get the type of pressure that we would like to get with some of our pass rushers? Our interior D-line is going to be good, and our edge rush situation should be fine as well, whether or not we pick up Justin Houston. 2 more plays from 2021, and then we're out, and these are beautiful. These are better than the play he just made against Green Bay in Week 1, and we all know they blew out Green Bay in Week 1. This is against the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is going to extend the play somehow. Marcus Williams ends up making a play that if you haven't seen it yet, it's my pleasure to try to break it down for you. That's Marcus Williams right here, knocking down a pass that's intended for Miles Sanders, preventing a touchdown or a completion inside the 5-yard line. Let's pull this back, and hopefully the film isn't too stuttering too much. I want you to track where Marcus Williams is coming from. Here's Miles Sanders. There's Marcus Williams. Sanders is entangled with a second-level player. Hurts is going to get out of here, escape. And Marcus Williams is looking at the quarterback. He's looking in that direction. So he sees what no one else sees. I think he sees it before Jalen Hurts does, because he's gone right now. You guys see that? Let me turn these annotations off for a second. I know they probably get on some people's nerves. I think he sees this before Jalen Hurts does. I think Jalen Hurts sees it, on this next mouse click by me. I think he's going to see it, but I think Marcus Williams already does because he's gone. It's a beautiful play. That's a career highlight type play, if you ask me. And the amazing thing was, he made 2 of them in this game. Now, the next one is from a half-field alignment, which, I have contended is a relative weakness. I wish there was a better phrase. If you have access to a better phrase, let me know. But this one is spectacular. That's one of the best safety plays that you'll ever see make. I think Kyle Hamilton made one like that in college for Notre Dame. I don't remember who it was against. It was against Florida State. It was an interception. In any case, half-field safety. There's the routes that are going to be run, so it's mesh. So what I mean is that by these 2 guys, the inside receivers, you're going to get crossers, all right? And then the number 1 receiver, Devonta Smith, is going to run like an out and up. Williams is drifting off because he knows 2 went under to that side. And Devonta Smith catches the ball. I think he gets a foot in bounds. If Marcus Williams is a half step later, this is a touchdown. Or it's a huge play caught inside the 1 because Devonta Smith will be able to get 2 feet down on the ground. You can see Marcus Williams is right there to challenge it. Ball's caught. I think his right foot is down. You can see the left foot here. Hopefully you can see it up in the air. Out of bounds. Prevented. I think these 2 plays might have been on the same drive, guys. I might be wrong. That's next level, DB play. Track him here one more time. Appreciate it. If you haven't done it all, if you haven't appreciated it already. Hopefully I was able to break some of these plays down good for you. I think he's as good as we've had at safety since Ed Reed was there in terms of preventing big plays and doing something that Ed Reed used to. And I don't mean to throw the Ed Reed name around because that's almost not fair. It's not fair to Ed Reed and it's not fair to Marcus Williams. But the one thing that I will say that makes me comfortable in throwing that name out there, not as a consistently playing to that level guy, because nobody did that like Ed Reed ever in the history of football. But the one thing he does is he makes quarterbacks think and maybe second guess themselves about, hey, is this guy actually open? Here's what I mean by that. Refer back to that throw by Aaron Rodgers that he intercepted in Week 1. Aaron Rodgers read his helmet, his eyes snapped to Davante Adams immediately on the backside. He was trying to see what kind of coverage he had there, what the corner was doing, what Marcus Williams was doing. He determined Marcus Williams was going to cover up over Davante Adams on the backside. As soon as his helmet, his face mask, turned the other direction, Marcus Williams was gone. He was getting depth to allow him to be able to respond to that other side of the field. To me, that's the type of thing that Ed Reed would do, from scouting, from looking at quarterbacks. Once you do that long enough, as Marcus Williams has, I think he's been in the league since he was 21. Quarterbacks know the guys who study. He's creating an extra layer for the quarterback's decisions, if you ask me. You guys let me know what you think you see. Appreciate you if you've watched the video at all, and if you've hung out this long, please comment to help the video get more exposure. If you haven't done so already and you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel.